Hey, we've been talking all week about building a team. That's right. How do you build a team? We've had some great discussions. And now here we come to Friday where Tom and I give our discoveries of the week. And I got to tell you, I got a really rich one that really blew my mind. I'm still getting it through my head. All that and more coming up on today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
One-handed because I'm holding the phone up.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Podcast viewers, just so you know, Bob does a little thing. Podcast listeners, sorry. Bob does a little thing every morning if you're brand new to the show. And we also broadcast this, so you may wonder why he's getting outside.
I am.
Oh.
The lawn care people have left, I think.
Just for those of you who don't realize that because you're tuning in on Friday, we were actually recording this. And yesterday, if you watched our show, you know that Bob had to go into his car because the lawn care people were showing up at the establishment of where he is at. We should share where you are, because you typically are at one location, and maybe they would actually want to sponsor the show if you do it every morning from one of their locations.
You mean the Royal Farm stores?
Yes.
Yes, there you go. Yes, I'm outside the Royal Farm store.
You would probably have to change your angle a little bit so that Royal Farm showed up in the background on the screen.
You mean, can you see it there?
No, not really.
Not close enough. Yeah, we could do that. We'll have to get our crack marketing team on that.
Absolutely. Sounds like a good idea. All right, everyone.
With our marketing team that's on crack. That's a different thing.
Okay.
I've worked in the media. Trust me, that's more true than you realize.
Okay. I think it's time. I'm going to jump in now before we
go ahead.
Locations that we don't want to discuss or conversation. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast, where each week Bob and I have a conversation around a topic. As he mentioned, this week's topic, we've been talking all about building a team. And we'll have that conversation today about what we've discovered from our week of talking about that. Excuse me. So that if you have things you'd like to share around building a team and what you've discovered, please feel free to put it in the comments, whether you are watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, or
LinkedIn Live, baby.
Yes, LinkedIn Live. Please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas, because we know that it'll add value to our show. And as Bob and I go through and share our discoveries, please feel free to do that as well. You can also, if you're on, truck's backing up. If you happen to be listening to the podcast and wonder what that beeping is, that Bob is outside and there's a truck backing up. Also, if you're listening to the podcast and there's nowhere to share comments, go to our Ring of Renegades Facebook group. You can be part of a conversation. And today, there will be a post up that says Discoveries of the Week. What have you discovered? And where you can feel free to share your discoveries around building a team or something else that you think will add value to the group around what you've discovered this week. So before we get to our discoveries, though, each morning we do our celebrations. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
So I forgot to do this yesterday, and I just realized that. So do you know the musical group, the Bare Naked Ladies?
I've heard of them, yes. Okay.
So they had a song of Brian Wilson. And it's a song about Brian Wilson, the Beatles, not the Beatles, I'm sorry, the Beach Boys guy.
Yeah.
And that song turned 30 years old yesterday, Thursday. And it is one of the few songs that I can actually play on guitar. So I celebrate that song because it's very simple, very clear, and I can play it on guitar. And people have actually heard me play it on guitar, and they go, hey, that's not bad. That's a rare thing in my guitar playing. So I celebrate the Bare Naked Ladies for creating a song that even a novice guitarist like me can play. And I know you're saying put a video of it up so we can all hear you play it. I know you are, but that's probably not going to happen.
Why?
Because I'll judge myself way too much, but I might do it.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I think we would enjoy that. That's a special talent that I think on a day that you're celebrating it would be a really good video.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
You know, that's the one thing you got to be careful of what you bring up on these shows of celebrations.
Yeah, you don't think I'm careful, Tom? Really? Have you talked to me before and after the show?
We had you dunk a basketball. We videotaped that.
Yes.
I think there are some other things that we've had you video. We videotaped and did a little celebration of your da 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 da. Did that.
Yes.
So, you know, there have been a few of those.
Okay. All right.
There's always room for one more.
All right. I'll see if I can make that happen next couple days.
Excellent.
Silly me. What are you celebrating, Tom? You're celebrating the fact that you got me to commit to doing something I didn't want to do.
Yeah, you know, as you know, there are times I like to push you a little bit to things that make you a little uncomfortable. So what I'm celebrating.
What people don't realize is we just had 45 minutes of that before the program.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it makes me a little uncomfortable too. I ask questions I know
okay. That's good to know.
I'm always wondering if I should truly ask them or not. And like I have most of my life, I ask them.
There you
anyhow,
go.
So my celebration is, and I'm celebrating this early because I will truly celebrate it on Sunday, is that the summer lacrosse season will be complete. It has been 2 months of fun, enjoyment, busy, chaos, all of those things wrapped together in what has been an enjoyable 2 months. And I am looking forward to some time away from lacrosse. Definitely.
When does it kick back off again? October, or is it not spring?
There will be some college scrimmages in September. Okay. And a little bit in, there's some fall ball college stuff in September and October. The real youth club stuff will kick back up again, at least in terms of events, in late October, mid to late October.
Okay.
Yeah. So nice. A little bit of a break.
A little bit of a break. Nice.
Yes, indeed. All righty. So now that we've celebrated, let's dive into our discussion for today, our discoveries of the week, talking about building a team. Since it sounds like you said in your introduction that you have one that you are ready to share, why don't you dive in?
I am ready to share, and that's the whole idea of having a team looking forward, not backwards. That really jumped out at me when we talked about it yesterday. I never really thought about that, but so much of the teamwork I've done has been around historical things. You know, we always meet at this time. We always meet to talk about these things. And you know, and I know the world's changed a lot in the last couple of years. So a lot of those things that we probably did are obsolete, or they've shifted a bit. And I think really the other thing that came to mind was just the whole idea of what's the purpose of a team, and that's constantly changing. It's not, hey, we started this, the budget committee is the budget committee, and the budget committee reviews the budgets. Well, at some point, the budget committee might have to do something else. They may have to start thinking about, how they can do things differently. It may become the budget committee that has to get new software, or maybe the budget committee that has to create a new structure for approvals. And I don't think we think enough about where teams, where committees, where organizations can go when we're building them. It's much more like, well, we've always had a person who does X. We've always had an AR person, and the AR person has to have 10 years experience, and they have to be able to do this, this, this. Okay, what about the person who's not that might bring new ideas and be like, you know what? I don't use QuickBooks. I use this new software called Wave. And Well, we've always used QuickBooks. Well, Wave does this, this, and this. Oh, wow. Didn't think about that until now.
I like it.
Good. What do you got?
Well, I have a couple things. One is, and I don't think I really thought about this. It sort of came on as you were having a conversation. I think it was on either Monday or Tuesday. We were either talking about the challenges or why it matters. And the idea that we so often create teams that are have all the skill sets that we think we need to solve a purpose. You know, usually we build a team because there's a purpose, there's something we want to achieve. And so now we go out and build that team. And so often we build the team with people who who typically are all connected to that purpose for some reason. Their knowledge, experience, or perspective is why they are a part of that team. And I think the opportunity to throw somebody in that team who has very little or no knowledge, experience, and perspective around that purpose, just so that we are ensuring that we are considering different perspectives. And I think that's something that is not rarely done. And people would not see the value. And the number of times have been like, well, why is so-and-so on this team? Now, maybe the person who put it together said, well, this is the value that they add. And I think there's a lot of value in that. And that likely, if we are not, we should do more of that, where we add people in without a specific purpose in mind. And as it relates to that, their purpose is providing a unique perspective. And I think that's one of the things that we talked a little bit about, is you had talked about, once you have a team, dividing them up into their skill sets and letting them do their thing. It just struck me that, I think you can go off and then you're stuck doing what you've always done because that's what they know. So that was one. I think the other thing that I think I'm going to pick as my my discovery of the week is what we talked about yesterday. And you shared a little bit of it, but it was interesting to me as we talked through it that I was saying, you have a purpose, you build a team, and once that team completes its purpose, it really creates a new purpose and then a new team. And I think that turnover, I think you even mentioned it, the not letting teams go beyond their purpose, that the value of building a team, and one of the things we often don't do, is add a timeline. Is like, we're building this team for this amount of time for this purpose. Okay. And to me, that usually defines goals and a timeline, so they know what they're trying to achieve, and and you can measure that, evaluate it. And then we come up with a new purpose. And likely that means we change the team. And I think so often that's not the way we have done work. We build a team and people stay as long as they want to stay, as long as they're productive. And if they're not, we move them out, or they move themselves out. And I think that maybe there's a real reason why that 7-year itch that people talk about in a job is a reality. And it might be something that we, as the builders of teams, might want to consider, is maybe we've reached a point where that team has served its purpose. Maybe there are some people on that team that could be a part of the next team we build, depending on what the purpose is, and maybe not. And while I think that's I think many would think of that as harsh. It's like, well, you just kick somebody out once. And they're like, well, maybe it's time we need a new perspective. We all need a new perspective, the people who are on the team as well as the person putting the team together.
I like that. And if you think about it, it makes sense that if I'm on a team now and that team completes its purpose and I'm off that team, there's probably another team that's going to invite me on. Sure. And within an organization, an organization of 50 employees probably has, 10 teams at any given time?
At least.
And if you're open to not having expertise, like line by line expertise, then there's always a place for someone to be, right?
Sure. And I think
it would help engage those people more. Hey, I'm on a committee and I'm learning new stuff.
Correct. And I think that's the thing, is that there's the opportunity for everyone to grow and add their value. while they grow, even though it might be in a unique way, and they may not understand it at the time. I mean, I can imagine that would be a leadership style that would be some people would really struggle with. It's like, why are you taking me from the communications team because I have a background and degree in communications, and you're putting me on the budget team?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Yes, and I think that's where having a clear purpose can really add benefit, so they now understand, well, okay, we want your communications, knowledge, experience, and perspective with a group of people who likely communications is not the focus of their work, and that the synergy there and what you can add could have a real impact for our organization. I like it a lot.
I do too. That was great. It's been a good week. And next week, we're going to talk about managing a team. Can't wait.
And it's different. I think so often it's almost like they go together. It's
almost like I'm at a truck stop.
I was just wondering if it was like, okay, it's rush hour is almost over. Let's gas up and get the trucks back out on the road.
I think that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah. All right. So if you have a discovery of the week you'd like to share, please feel free to put it in the comments. We welcome your thoughts and ideas. You can also, as I mentioned earlier, share it in our Ring of Renegades Facebook group. If you're not yet a member of that Facebook group, you probably want to join us.
What's wrong with you? Come on, people.
I left that for you. That's your side of this, is you're to guilt them into why they should be a part of it. It's easy to do. Just go to Facebook, search for Ring of Renegades, and then just tell us why you're a renegade, and you can join our group of growing members who are trying to take their next step along their own unique pathway to success. You can also access it by downloading our app. There's a link that'll take you right to it, so you can have it on your phone, where you're able to connect directly to it and not have to do searching or hoping that it shows up at the top of your groups. So just go to Google Play or go to the Apple App Store and download Renegade Success Network app, and you can have access to all the things we're doing within the Renegade Success Network. So we look forward to seeing you inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group or in the community around the app. If not, we will see you 7 a.m. Monday morning for our next episode of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you, and embrace the renegading you on the teams you're on. Ooh.
Took me a moment. I like that.
All right.
All right, everybody, go out and make it a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.